increase, compared with an average of 23,000 over the previous year. It's grown right up to 40,000. If you live in, I don't know, Hounslow or Barnet, and you're in the top two boroughs in the entire country. So what's happening in Barnet and what's happening in Hounslow? Could you homeschool school your children? Would you want to homeschool your children? What do you need it to? What do you need to do? What is it about the pandemic that's made this thing go up in the world? I need to know. I need answers. 0800 731 2000. Join me now to help, sir. Former head teacher and education expert Leon Hady. Hopefully I pronounced your surname correctly there, Leon.
That's exactly right, Eddie. Thank you.
2 points to me. B plus, and all of that. Now look, hold on. It just sounds like, I don't know. It sounds. You want me to be straight with you? It sounds like to me like hippie life, like having your baby at home. That's what it sounds like. If I'm honest, I'm sorry if there's anybody offended by that. Mrs. Nestor wanted to do that until the proper pain hit her, and she take me to the hospital now. But what? Tell me, is it hippie life?
No, and it's actually quite funny you mentioned that in particular, because that is also something that was done much more at home before it became over hospitalised. One of the issues that made people think more and more about not doing home births in the same way is fear of complications, not actual complications. So it was the worry and the need there that actually moved through. If you speak to a lot of doctors, they'll say some parts of birthing are over medicalised, and a lot of the neighbours who are 60 odd, they said, oh, I had my kids at homes and whatnot. So that's actually a change. Hospitalising them more is a change more than it was, say, 50 years ago.
Fine, but the fear of, it's longer term, isn't it? Teaching those children at home, it's a commitment. Everything has to be worked out around your child's education, where you go, who you speak to, socializing of your children. In your experience, is it done as some sort of ideology, or is it done as a reaction to something?
So we're lucky we have a few insights on this. One of with the businesses we have a tuition centre where a lot of parents will come to us with this exact need. I'm planning to homeschool my child, and what I'm also looking to do now is to do a lot of it myself at home. So there's some expertise that I won't be able to cover myself or my husband or a tutor, so we want you to do bits and pieces with us. And the main reason they came to us before lockdown was generally they'd be in a situation where for one reason or another the student didn't fit into their local school, and a school that the parents may want would be too far away in a catchment, they didn't have time to move, they can't afford to move, etc. So they take matters into their own hands. Where we've been hearing it post-lockdown, a lot of people have actually got to a situation where they feel that some potential has been unearthed in their children that they maybe didn't see before. Now, that is something we have to acknowledge. There's instances there where I think previously what the education system unfortunately can't do is we do know that there's potential everywhere.
You can't treat my child as an individual. That's what you're going to say.
Very much so. And because there's potential everywhere, what parents are trying to do now is uncover some of that potential themselves. With the lockdown and with the collaboration between parents and schools and teachers on lockdown, you had more resources than ever before. So whole Facebook groups, whole curriculums were actually available to people to be able to take the lead at home.
Yes, bite size and stuff like that. Does it tell you something about me or my children? I saw absolutely no potential in them for anything.
No, it would only be your eyes, Eddie. It would only be your eyes. You leave your children with a teacher, I promise you they'll see and unearth the potential.
Listen, we've got to do this again, actually, because we barely scratched the surface. It's been a bit like that today. Just tell me, if anybody is thinking about it, what are a couple of the things that they better bear in mind?
The most important thing is to know where the examination centre ultimately is going to be, because it's all well and good to educate your side with, let's just say hippie sides of things as you so choose, but ultimately one of the key one of the key society things that they're going to need is the qualifications that they have in the future. It's all well and good if they can do a million other things, but the key currency, if you will, with business, with jobs, etc., is your qualifications and grades, and they unlock so many other things. But that's the key thing. So number one, make sure that you're actually registered with the local college, etc., to take the right college exams if they're GCSEs, or with the right areas where you can take SATs or entrance exams if you so wish. The second most important thing to remember is not to try and push them for more than 2-3 hours a day. You can actually replicate an hour in class with, say, 15 minutes of good, or 15 to 20 minutes of good tuition, very focused tuition. The third thing is never stop trying to widen your network. There's so much now in Facebook groups and even TikTok, mini TikTok videos you can watch. The Oak National Academy is available for all. BBC Bite Size, as you mentioned before lockdown, the BBC actually said it's doing its biggest education drive ever with this. So you can find the resources everywhere. And just remember, I'd say the key thing for parents is it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not trying to make your child a genius in seconds.
Lovely speaking to you. So we'll do this again. I promise you.
You're a gentleman, Eddie. Thank you.
75% Leon Hady, the head teacher, former head teacher, education expert, safety of women and girls and e-scooters. That's where we're going.